Have you ever felt an emptiness in your chest that only an animal could fill? In the heart of the Serengeti savanna, a story of maternal love and courage is about to move you deeply. Picture this, a lioness named Nia, with eyes that seem to carry the weight of the world, pleading for help to save her cub, Jabari. What she did left even the most seasoned wildlife rangers speechless. And believe me, what happened years after that night changed the lives of everyone who witnessed it. This is a chronicle of instinct, compassion, and a cross-species connection that challenges everything we think we know. Let's dive into Nia's journey, where every roar, every step echoes a lesson that might change the way you see animals, and even yourself. Have you ever had an animal that seemed to understand your soul? Then get ready, because this story will touch you deeply. And if you love emotional animal stories, make sure to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss a single one. But first, a question. What would you do if love for your family led you to face the unknown? Nia was about to find out, in the most unexpected way. The sun rose over the Serengeti, painting the sky orange, as if nature were crafting a masterpiece just for Nia and Jabari. The lioness, her golden fur glowing, licked her cub as he played, trying to nip at her tail. The air smelled of fresh grass, and the sound of birds wove a morning symphony. Have you ever seen a cub so full of life that it felt like nothing could go wrong? Jabari was like that, a bundle of energy with curious eyes. But the savanna's peace is fragile. Here's a surprising fact. Lion cubs have delicate bones, and falls can be dangerous. Nia knew this, but like any mom, she sometimes underestimated how much trouble Jabari could get into. He climbed a low tree, his tiny paws slipping on the dry bark. Nia watched, proud but with that familiar knot in her chest every mother knows. Then a crack. Jabari lost his balance and tumbled, rolling in the dirt with a whimper that shattered the silence. Nia raced over, her heart pounding, catching the scent of dust and a faint trace of blood. The cub's breathing was weak, one paw twisted at an odd angle. Stop and feel her pain for a moment. A mother, without words, only instinct, watching her child suffer. A mother's instinct reminds us to trust our deepest feelings. When something feels off, listen to your heart. Have you ever had a gut feeling so strong it made you act without thinking? But how would Nia face what was coming? The sky darkened fast, as if nature knew something serious was brewing. Nia, with Jabari curled up beside her, felt the cold wind brush her fur, carrying the scent of coming rain. The cub whimpered softly, each breath a reminder of time slipping away. Have you ever felt that panic when the clock seems to race against you? Suddenly thunder rumbled, and the snap of a breaking branch made Nia lift her head. Fun fact, lions have such sharp hearing they can pick up sounds from miles away, but the storm drowned out everything except her anguish. The lioness licked Jabari, trying to warm him, but the dried blood on his fur told a story she couldn't ignore. Nia scanned her surroundings, her instinct shouting louder than fear. The human camp, a place she'd always avoided, glowed faintly in the distance. Go there. Madness. But a mother's love doesn't bargain. Have you ever had to choose between safety and the impossible for someone you love? Nia stood with Jabari whimpering at her neck and took her first step. When fear strikes, trust your heart and take that first step, even if you can't see the whole path. What would make you face the unknown for someone you love? But how would Nia cross the savannah in the pouring rain? Rain fell in sheets, turning the ground into a sea of mud. Nia, with Jabari draped over her neck, felt the cub's weight and his feverish warmth against her body. The scent of wet earth filled the air, mixed with the muffled sound of her steps in the sludge. Every move was a struggle, as if nature were testing her courage. Here's something wild. Lionesses can carry twice their weight in extreme situations, driven by pure instinct. But out there, alone, Nia had no pride to back her up. The human camp, its lights flickering, was forbidden territory. Lions steer clear of humans. It's a rule of the savannah, but a mother's love follows no rules. Nia paused, her eyes locked on the lights, as if the universe whispered, "Trust." Desperation made her decide. With a low roar, almost a lament, She shifted Jabari onto her back and pressed on. Each step was a fight against fear, rain, and doubt. Take a moment and feel the weight of that choice. The toughest decisions can lead to the right path. Trust what your heart tells you. Have you ever faced a fear so big for love that it changed your life's course? But what would happen when Nia reached the camp? The savannah seemed to swallow Nia, with rain pounding and mud clinging to her paws. Carrying Jabari, she felt the cub slip, his warm, fragile body against her soaked fur. Thunder rolled like distant drums, and the smell of ozone hung in the air. Each step felt heavier than the last. Did you know lions can travel up to 12 miles in a single night when driven? But with an injured cub and under rain, every yard was a triumph. Nia stumbled over hidden roots, dodged fallen branches, her eyes squinting against the wind. The camp was still just a faint glow, but she pushed on, fueled by a force even nature couldn't quench. The lioness growled softly, as if talking to Jabari, urging him to hold on. Each whimper from the cub made her speed up, ignoring the burn in her muscles. It was as if motherly love turned the impossible into just another hurdle. If stories like this move you, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Small steps with determination can take you further than you think. What keeps you going when everything seems to pull you down? But what would Nia find when she reached the camp? Nia reached the camp, her fur dripping and Jabari limp. Lantern. Lights sliced through the dark, revealing tents swaying in the rain. The smell of wood smoke mixed with the metallic tang of wet earth, and the human silence as they spotted the lioness felt suffocating. Here's a rare fact. Lions hardly ever approach humans, but when they do, it's usually out of dire need. Nia didn't bare her teeth or roar. Her eyes held a plea any mother would recognize. Daniel, a young ranger, raised his hand, signaling calm to his colleagues, who gripped rifles with trembling hands. "She's not here to fight," he whispered, as if he could feel Nia's soul. Nia gently lowered Jabari to the ground, a faint whimper escaping the cub. Daniel stepped forward, his heart racing, but something in the lioness's stance, a quiet confidence, kept him going. It was as if nature and compassion had struck a silent pact. Pause for a second and feel that moment. The greatest courage is trusting someone who seems different from you. One act of empathy can change everything. Have you ever felt an unexpected connection with something that seemed worlds apart? But could Daniel save Jabari? Under the flickering lanterns, the camp felt like a stage where Jabari's life hung in the balance. The rain had eased to a drizzle, but tension lingered, with the sound of drops pattering on tent tarps. Nia, lying beside her cub, watched Daniel with eyes blending hope and caution. Believe it or not, lions can trust humans with pure intentions, a rarity in the wild. Daniel opened his first aid kit, the sharp scent of antiseptic cutting through the damp air. He cleaned Jabari's injured paw, applied a bandage, and gave a painkiller shot. Nia stayed still, but her gaze tracked every move, as if she knew this human was her cub's only hope. As Daniel worked, the other rangers watched, jaws dropped. One whispered, "This is a miracle." Jabari's breathing steadied, a faint purr rising from his chest. Nia licked her cub as if thanking the stars. Stop for a moment and feel that relief. Small acts of kindness can forge bonds that change lives. When was the last time you helped someone without expecting anything back? But what would dawn bring? Dawn broke with a clear sky, pinks and golds washing over the savannah. The crisp air carried the scent of wet herbs, and birdsong filled the quiet. Nia saw Jabari stir his bandaged paw, a new spark in his eyes. He tried to stand, wobbly but strong enough to warm her heart. Fun fact: lions show affection not just with licks, but with soft purrs that carry for yards. Nia nuzzled Jabari while Daniel watched, his face lit with a weary smile. "I've never seen anything like it," one ranger said. Nia turned to Daniel, locking eyes with a gaze so deep it felt like it held a miracle. When Jabari took a few steps, Nia guided him out of the camp. The savannah called them back, but something had shifted. The bond between species left a mark on the humans and the lioness. Pause and feel that for a moment. Cherish moments of true connection. They remind us empathy can change a life. When did you last feel part of something bigger than yourself? Years later, something would bring Nia and Daniel face to face again. Naya. And Jabari's story isn't just about a lioness and her cub. It's about what makes us human, about love that crosses boundaries and courage born when all seems lost. In the Serengeti, a bond between species showed compassion can work miracles. Have you ever stopped to think about the impact of a single kind act? This tale reminds us that instinct and empathy are mighty forces. The lesson is simple: never underestimate the power of helping, trusting, or loving. And you, have you had an animal that changed your life? Share your story in the comments. Your experiences inspire us. If this journey moved you, the next video YouTube suggests will warm your heart even more. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss a single story. Let's celebrate love, courage, and nature's miracles together. See you next time.